The story that I'm about to tell you is absolutely true. I saw the stars in the sky for the first time when I was about 15 years old. When I was a kid, my family moved from Spain to Venezuela when I was a very little kid. And it's not easy to, move to a different country and get adjusted. So there was a lot of turmoil. And nobody in my family noticed that I had severe astigmatism. And also I'm kind of like short-sighted as well. So when I was in school, I was always sitting on the first row because that was the only way I could actually see the blackboard. I was probably 8 years old when my father tried to teach me about the stars and the constellations. And he was like, well, that's Ursus Major and that's Orion's Belt. And I was looking up at the sky and I couldn't see anything, but I said, yeah, I can see it. I didn't want to wear glasses either because, they were going to tease me in school if I had them. So I just kept my mouth shut and tried to make the best out of it. Actually, I didn't even know that I couldn't see. I thought that everybody was the same. And, sometimes I was surprised when people could see things that I couldn't see. So because of my eyesight, I was never able to play baseball or ping pong or anything where the ball was too small. I couldn't even watch professional sports and enjoy them because I couldn't see anything. I remember when I was probably 15, I went to the Astrodome to my first big deal baseball game. I had a great time, but I had no idea what was going on the field. I was just singing and chanting and eating hot dogs. I made the best out of it, but I truly could not follow what was happening in front of me. So I started relying more and more on things that I could have in front of my face. And that was books and television. I would actually sit very close to the screen. And it was great because then I eventually became a writer. But I never developed that passion for professional sports that most children do. But it was okay because it was replaced with other passions. I became interested in the arts. I became interested in theater. I got into other things. And you would say, oh, well, if you never got into sports, then you don't know what teamwork is. And it's not true because in theater and in film later on, I'm very much of a team player. So it's not essential to be a sports fan to know how to work with a team. It wasn't until I was 15 years old and I literally could not read the blackboard from the first row when I finally told my mother, I think I need to go to an eye doctor because I can't see shit. And so I did, and I got my first pair of glasses, and I went to the beach one night, and I looked up at the sky, and I was like, wow. So this is what it looks like. This is what my father tried to teach me. Needless to say, every time I look at a starry night, I think of my father. But because of my eyesight, I never developed any kind of passion for watching sports. I never developed any loyalty to any team. If I go to a Super Bowl party, I'll end up in the kitchen, talking to somebody's wife. I don't understand the mentality of the sports fan. I respect it. Listen, if you get a lot of enjoyment out of sports, rock and roll, I get a lot of enjoyment out of other things. But I really couldn't care less who's playing, and I definitely don't give a damn about who's winning because I don't think that their victory is my victory. Professional players usually just travel and they go to different cities and they play for whatever team pays the most. I don't see why they would have any loyalty towards anybody. Believing that they actually care for me or for the city that they represent, I think that's a little bit of a stretch. Would they cheer for me? Probably not. Would they cheer for you? It's a game. You choose to be happy for something that is not really changing your life in any way. And the reason why I bring this up is because this kind of irrational loyalty that you feel for a sports team has permeated politics. And I think that very often we are choosing one party over the other, and we support them irrationally, even though we know that their victory is probably not going to change anything in our lives. So what I humbly would like to suggest is that we stop looking at politics as if it was a game, that you choose representatives that actually work for you, that solve the problems that you have, that your community has. If you contribute with your taxes to the government, I think the government should make sure that that money is used to make your life better. Anyway, that's just a thought from a very short-sighted person.